Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. I should really get to these right after. This one's going to be shorter because, I can't remember everything that happened that Sunday. And there was a good bit that happened. But I want to focus on a couple different things. One thing I'll strive to get better at tomorrow is getting there either on time or early. Because what happened on this day was when you're late, my apologies for that. When you're late, the other tables pretty much will dictate. They will dictate the lines, and they'll have their stuff right on the lines, and they'll encroach. No one went over the lines, but I just didn't have as much room. And it's key for sales having as much room left to right, as much frontage as possible. And the other people just kind of took over, especially those to the right. It was still a good day. Still a good day into triple digits, which is still always a good day, but it could have been so much better. And a lot of that was on me. Like I said, being late. One sale that was the surprise sale, there's always one that's kind of the surprise sale, was my kicker amplifier. I sold a kicker amplifier. I really got no use for it anymore. I'm probably going to upgrade. It's a nice amp, great amp, sounds great. Kicker is one of the best amps you can get. But it was maybe 2, 3, 4 years old, and it was a refurb at that. I paid maybe 120. I wound up getting, I think, 60, which is not bad when you think about it. I used it for 3 years and got back half the value. I didn't have the original box. Well, it's a refurb, so it didn't come in the original kicker box. I probably could have got more if it came in the original box, but I had the original burst certificate. These amps actually come with a burst certificate, which actually shows how much power they're actually putting out. So, yeah, and part of that making that sale was actually demoing the kicker system I had and basically saying that, maybe it's a fib, that it was almost on par. If he puts it on 2 kicker 10s, he was impressed with my system, so he's like, yeah, definitely I want to get that. I started out 75, and he got me down to 60, but it was cool. No biggie. What else did I sell? I sold 1 or 2 DVDs. Might have been just one, but it was notable because I sold it to a very attractive female, and I know her mother. I forget how I know her mother, but her mother's in her 50s, maybe early 60s, but she's really hot for being in 50s and 60s. She has had some work done. She has some giant watermelons. So I tell you, she's always kind of fun to hug. Even though she's older, I don't know, maybe a drink or two, old girls need love too, right? Now her daughter has the most gorgeous eyes, hypnotic eyes, and she wears that nice Egyptian makeup. She, of course, had a boyfriend, maybe fiance, but yeah, just so gorgeous. You ever see a girl so pretty, and you're like, you know what, that almost makes the day. You're just you can't get the image out of your mind, But, she bought one movie. What was it? A Walk to Remember. It's a romance movie. And by the way, unless I mention it, I've separated all my DVDs and Blu-rays into categories. And hopefully, maybe we'll see that helps the sales tomorrow. I guess I'll finish off by talking about, like I said, there was a lot. I don't remember. But I'll finish up by talking about, it's the return of that annoying Beggar kid. I thought it was a one-off, but I guess I'm going to have to deal with this little kid every week. Tell you what I had to do. It's almost like he asked me for ransom. He's doing the same thing, hey, is this, can I have this? Can I have this? And he's doing that same crap, I'll tell you what I did. I let him have Madden 15, Xbox 360. I have $5 on the sports games. I'm enthusiastically optimistic, but probably not going to sell for $5. I let him have that. First, he asked, "Do you have any games for $1?" Because he had $1 or $2, and he couldn't afford the other games. It's first he wants them free, then his family gives him a couple dollars for games. Oh my goodness! And I'll get onto his parents in a moment, right? They bought a couple $1 or $2 items. I winded up demoing Amped for him because he couldn't afford GTA 5 because that's what I had in the 360. Oh, that's the other big story, by the way. Everyone was playing GTA 5 on the 360. A lot of people didn't know it was on the 360. They assumed like it's an Xbox One game, but no, it came out on the 360 first. So it was very, very, very popular. And I think I have an Xbox 360 sale. But everybody was loving playing that on the 360. So, yeah. I switched that out for Amped. And I'm thinking, okay, he wants a cheap game. What can I let go real cheap? Amped 3. Because he asked me if I had any skateboarding games. But then I said, no, but I have snowboarding. This kid didn't seem to happy about snowboarding until he's going downhill with the bunny rabbit. And he's having fun. And I'm talking up his skills. And for what it's worth, this kid was like, 5, 6 years old. But he wasn't that bad as far as doing the tricks. And he looked at me and he's like, watch this. Watch this. So, yeah, I got to give him his props. For 6 years old, he's actually not that bad of a gamer. I was actually enjoying watching him play the game, right? So I let that go for $1. I let a baseball game. I don't think I was selling the Xbox 360 baseball game. That was, I think, baseball 2010, something like that. So that one, Madden 15. Amp 3 was the one I didn't want to sell. But, he's got 3 games. So the next time he comes by, I can be like, hey, you haven't finished the games you're playing now. Have you finished Amp 3? But, I got a strategy for him. I got those free Game Center magazines that I got for free. And when he asks if I have anything for him for free, I'm just going to say, well, I got a magazine for you. It's a video game magazine, so be on your way.